What's going on, guys? So in this video I get this 14-inch knife that I got at a Facebook marketplace sale. Came in with a bunch of other tools I showed in the previous video. So with my Dremel, I get these swept bristle discs, and I ended up going with, at first, threw on a 400 grit on there, and it did a good job. I double stack the two together, get a better surface area going on. So tighter spots, you can go with one, but I went with two on this blade. And then you can see I go back and forth and adjust the speed on the Dremel. Maxing it out can damage those bristles, and so I usually, I don't know, probably around a 20 on the RPM. Goes up to 35 if you wanted to, but they start to damage them. Maybe 25, you can do it safely. But going back and forth with the 400 grit, and bam, right there. You see what happened? I went onto the blade on accident and completely destroyed those two discs. So yeah, that was funny. So I go back. I felt that the metal was, doing just fine with the 400 grit. No fear of burning it or damaging the blade. So I went to a more aggressive 80 at a lower RPM, went over it, and I liked those results better. So I did my first whole pass completely with the 80 grit, and yeah, it was kind of easy, and I really enjoyed these discs. It's using your wire wheels, and which they work, but for you guys who know how to use them, they start little pieces of metal go flying everywhere. Didn't want to deal with that anymore when I saw that people were switching to these. I'll still use them, don't get me wrong, but I really like these discs, especially with the variety where you can go from an 80 grit in this kit all the way to 1,000 grit. There's 80, 120, 220, 400, 600, and 1,000. You just put them on the 1/8 shank, throw them on your Dremel, and then you can go back and forth with whichever project you're working on, depending on what you want to do. And with this one, it turned out pretty cool, where it got the bottom, the butt of the knife shined up really nicely. Just researching this handle, it's actually Antler. And I did a little test because later on they end up making fake ones with plastic, and you just get a really hot needle and touch it, and if it's plastic, it will start to melt. You can smell plastic burning. So I did that test, nothing, and so that told me, yep, this is Antler. So that worked out really nice on this find. Never had an Antler handle knife before. So I really wanted to clean this one up, knowing, okay, this is going to look pretty cool for what it is. Let's get the rust off of it, make it shine as much as possible, bring it back, and end up throwing the CRC, the multi-purpose lubricant, the 336, the corrosion inhibitor. I just like just a little bit, spray a little bit on there, wipe it off. Some people just do it at the very end. I just do it here and there, just peace of mind. I don't want any flash rusting or anything to come back. I want to do this one time and that's it. So put that on there. I changed grits. End up going to I believe if that's the red ones, the 220, and then just keep stepping it up depending on the shine that you want to get, how much work you want to put into it, but the end result, what you want it to be. I end up going all the way to 1,000. Just I like really playing with the different grits and seeing what each one does, the result of each one, what's the purpose of it. And yeah, it's I don't know, it's pretty fun just hanging out in the garage doing these things, getting these tools, playing with new tools, new hardware. It makes things interesting, and then doing these videos showing you guys what I come up with, the results. That's that's just the cherry on top. So just going back and forth with that. I believe that's the 600 grit that I'm using on there now, and it really makes a difference. Once you hit a couple passes, you go more aggressive, you're going lighter and lighter. It does make a difference. You can see there on that. So just sprayed a little bit more 336 on it. Give it a quick wipe down. Okay, how's it look? I like it. Okay, let's keep going. Or where did I go? What am I doing? I probably went to go get a sip of beer. So I just put a little bit of the CRC degreaser just to get it onto that handle, to get any surface dirt or whatnot that's on that handle. I don't want to go super aggressive. It's just a light spray. Wipe it down, go back and forth, and you don't want it to sit. You don't want it to soak. Some people use soapy water. Either way, it's just damp. You can go get a soft brush, nothing too aggressive, like right here. Then end up going around the antler handle, cleaning that off. And it was just enough to, make a difference from what it was to where it ends up. So just wipe everything down. You don't need it to soak in. And then end up changing the Dremel to the 1000 grit. That's the light green. And go over it. And let me tell you, it's a big difference. More steps, but I think it was worth it. But you can do, if you guys get a knife or another tool, you determine how far you want to go with it. And this project was neat. I bought a crate of tools, and there were a couple knives in there. I didn't go to buy the knives, but when I started investigating, I was like, okay, this knife has some potential here. Let's bring her back to life. And it's anywhere from late 1800s, I believe, when they started making these knives like this same style. There's no maker's mark on it. A lot of times they hid the maker's mark. But doing some research, it looked like a 1930s knife. So hopefully you guys liked the video. Like, subscribe, share, comment if you guys have one like this. Let's see if I'll hang on to it or try to sell it. We'll see. So thanks again, guys.